this stage of the ukulele process, we need to machine our timber to the sizes shown on the screen now. The thickness can vary depending on your timber. Certain timbers are easier to bend than others, and moisture content can play a big factor. Once you're happy with this, dunk the two sides in water for about 15 to 20 minutes and turn on your heat bender. The temperature needs to be hot enough to boil water, but not too hot that it burns the timber. Don't forget to clamp the heat bender down. Here's the mould that I've made out of MDF to shape my sides. After 15 or 20 minutes, timber should be ready to start bending. Allow the heat to penetrate the timber, and when it's ready, the timber will easily bend. If you try to bend too early and force it, you're likely to snap your timber. So if you're finding that the timber isn't bending, you may need to wet it some more. If I'm struggling to bend just on one side only, I may turn the timber over and heat that up too. Once you think you've got it right, you can take it off and check with your jig. Reshape if necessary. To shape the next section, put your finger where you need to bend and bring it back over to the heat bender. Keep following this whole process until you've shaped the entire side. Once you've got your sides matching as well as you possibly can to your jig, you can put it in the jig and clamp it up. Don't need to tighten it up too much. Just a little bit of pressure will do. If you leave the sides in the mould overnight, they should be pretty well stuck in their position by the time you take them out. Perform the same process for the other side, and we're almost done. Line up the inside part of your mould with the centre line of your neck and put a pencil mark on your mould in line with the notch. This is where we're trimming our sides to. Transfer the pencil mark you have on your jig onto your ukulele side. Holding your side close to the body, follow it around to the base and draw a pencil mark on the centre line. Same thing for the other side. Now, before we trim our sides, we've got a little bit more marking out to do. So get your tri-square out and hold it along one of the edges. Line it up with your pencil mark and rule a line. Do the same thing to the bottom of your ukulele and repeat for the other side. It's always a good idea to mark your waist. You really don't want to screw up at this point. Transfer the lines that you've just drawn onto the inner surface of your sides and bring it over to the bandsaw to be cut out. Don't cut too close to the line, we can easily sand this back. Bringing your edges over to a flat surface, you want to be able to line them up without seeing any daylight in between them. You can clean up your edges with sandpaper and a hard block, but always bring the surfaces back together to check. I find the best way of getting a straight edge here is to use a sanding board. And once you're happy with your edges, time to move on to the next stage.